Again, I just want to like celebrate 10,000 followers. It's a huge milestone for not only like myself but the community in general. Just like 10,000 followers. I started taking Instagram seriously in August. It's only October, so that just shows how much this community is going to grow, like so much. And I just want to thank you guys all for being a part of this experience. And it's genuinely like we're going to go crazy. This whole Top Profit Club, all of it, is just a start for something amazing. And I'm just so grateful for all of you guys to be a part of it. Today we're going to got 3 special guests here. 3 great friends of mine. So one, we have Paul. He's a content creator. He makes skits on Instagram. I'm pretty sure he has almost 1 million on TikTok and half on like Instagram. I'm pretty sure. So he's gonna talk a bit about what he does, and if anyone wants to get into social media content creation, he's just gonna be talking all about it. We have Zach here too. Zach's going to be talking about his growth operations. He does that, pretty successful in it. So anyone who wants to get into that, we're going to have him talk for a little, giving out some value on that. And also Bryson, he's also a day trader, fellow friend of mine, has his whole community, been trading for, I don't know, a good amount of time. He's going to tell you guys about himself. So we're just going to, exactly, bro, I agree. What about, I guess, like something more like technically, like maybe some people go through like over trading or like greed or anything like that,
and confirmation after that's it, right? And making sure it's in good conditions. I don't use anything crazy anymore, bro, but the moment I switched up and just started to drop SMT, drop the power of 3, drop the quarterly theory, all these crazy concepts, all these overcomplicated concepts, and just simplified my trading and just trusted in a simple, mechanical model, but applying discretion, applying market experience is what really, really matters. That has completely changed my technical trading and pretty much has led me to profitability over time.
That's awesome, bro. I can also vouch on that. Not only that too, but like even what we were saying before with faith, like half of the stuff that we go through with like over trading, greed, and all that. If we simply just trust in the process, trust that God's going to give us another winning day or another time where our model plays out, that's all we really like. That's all we really need. If we have that trust that we're going to have another winning day, that our model's going to play out, then like I said, that's all we need. I mean, I feel like that's
the way it's hard to rely on yourself, bro, because like for the first year or so, I believed in God and everything, and I knew He had a part in my journey, but I didn't really rely on Him. And just like fully relying on myself, it's hard. Like, take it from me, bro. It's very hard, and it's quite literally impossible. People that go through this journey without God, I don't know how they do it. Maybe that's why some of them take 4 or 5 years, but faith is definitely just the thing that makes things so much easier and gives everything so much more purpose.
Exactly. If anyone has any questions for Bryson, like on his trading journey, or like anything about XFAs, about anything, y'all can feel free to ask him.
Ajay, coming from someone in that 1 to 3 month span, I want to make sure I'm putting in hours in the right space. Do you have any suggestions on what to focus on? In that beginning phase, bro, I'm guessing most likely you're watching like TGR or ICT. Correct me if I'm wrong, but most likely you are. I would watch those videos. I would finish all of that, understand the concepts, and pick again. Like, keep it simple, bro. Like, overcomplicated strategies, like it's just stupid in my opinion. Pick very few concepts, right? And backtest the model. And prove to yourself that it's profitable, because backtesting, I didn't do it for the first year, and that's what led me to wasting so much time on an unprofitable model, because I never knew it was unprofitable. I would just live trade and I would win a trade every now and then. I think it would be profitable. I just needed to learn more, but like when it came down to it, it was just a completely unprofitable strategy. So I would finish whatever course, ICT or TGR. I would finish watching those videos and then just create a really simple strategy And then again, just live trade every single day. Obviously, show up to the live markets, but also back test your model. I would do the prior year. So if we're going to 2026 pretty soon, I would back test 2025. Pretty much do the entire year. And if you can trade that model profitably throughout the entire year, you're making gains every single month, back tested, then stop back testing completely. A lot of people continue to back test even when they've proven it profitable. Move on from back testing, stop back testing, and then just fully live trade every single day and just give it time. Because live trading is completely different than back testing. At the end of the day, you can't really, there's not really discretion, like live market discretion that you can apply to back testing. It's just, they're completely two different ball games. But yeah, just watch videos and back test the model. Did you ever have any big obstacles, struggles besides your walk with Christ throughout your early stages of trading? I mean, to be honest, bro, no. I hated the fact that I had to work a job every single day. Like I was working at Autobell, the same place that MT works at. I was working there almost every single day. I hated it.
Exactly.
And I knew that trading was my way out. But other than that, bro, like I knew that I needed to find something because I did not have the same mindset as my family. And all the people around me just, wanting to go get a job and work for the rest of their life. Like I knew I didn't want to do that. But I've never really found anything up to that point that would allow me to live, that free life. So once I found trading, bro, I was like, this is it. So then I just went all in, bro. And, it went from me studying, an hour a day, TGR videos, taking notes to, 3, 4, 5, 6. It got to a point where it was insane. But I believe some of that obsession is, very important. But no, I really didn't have any struggles like in the very beginning stages because I was just so, I was so focused on just making this happen.
Exactly. Self-belief is literally everything. It's funny because I'm actually like learning about that in one of my classes, which is funny because I noticed that like some of the stuff in my classes, like of course, 100%, I would not say any degree or any class relates to trading, but there's some little aspects, like in my psychology class, for example, they talk about like confirmation bias, which is actually a thing in trading. So it's just like small things you can pick up and kind of like correlate together. But I like how you talk about just self-belief, because that's really all it is, right? Self-belief, and you get that belief and you get that trust within yourself from your trust within the Lord, right? Next special guest I brought into the call is my good friend, known for a little bit now. His name is Paul. He's actually a social media content creator. He has like almost a million on TikTok and like probably 500,000 on Instagram. So anyone who wants to get into like the social media content creation space, he's just gonna be talking a little bit about it, a little bit about his journey, and then if anyone has any questions for him, feel free to type in the chat and ask him. All right. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So wait, am I
They can hear you.
Y'all can hear me on Discord?
Nah. It's on my end.
Okay. All right. So how y'all doing on Discord, bro? My name is Paul. PaulisKnown. I'm a content creator. I make mainly comedy skits, and then yeah, that's pretty much it. I just make mainly skits. I've been doing content since 2020. I'm just now being mainly profitable on content, so I've also been looking into day trading. That's when I hit up MT because I saw this content come across my page, and I was like, dang, bro, how are you doing this stuff? And I've been wanting to get into day trading for a couple months because I just want to do a lot more for like my family as well. I think I heard a little bit of Bryson's end where he was talking about working and being able to provide for his family. So that's kind of the same objective that I have. For me, yeah, that's pretty much it about me. Yeah.
What about what would you say when it comes to like, I guess, people who are trying to start their journey in social media content creation? Because there's a lot of people who ask me like, how do I get into content creation? And I'm like, man, I'm just starting off in my journey, man. So Phil, wanted to bring you on here, to kind of just talk about your journey. How would you go about starting?
So what it is really just trying to find what you find enjoyable for you and what you really feel comfortable with sharing on the internet. So it could be as far as like if you like skits and comedy and stuff like that, I would say that would be like your best route to start with. If it's something that you're interested in and you want to share knowledge of, create a page that where you can share that type of knowledge and be very helpful to others in any way possible with the knowledge that you have. As far as starting, you really don't know where you're going to go with this content stuff. I originally started with a different type of feel when it came to my content. It was kind of more so a fast-paced comedy. Now I'm kind of getting more into where I use my it's like comedic skills in order to get a feel across for how I'm feeling on a specific perspective or a specific topic. So you never really know where you're going. Just have an idea of where you want to start and just let content take its way from there. Content is literally anything, so you could really start with anything.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's great, bro. I guess, how would you say, like, what would, like, be the difference from, like, I guess, blowing up on Instagram and blowing up on TikTok? Because, I mean, you have so much more on, like, TikTok, right, than Instagram. How is that?
Yeah, so really Instagram is really where it's at, because that's where all the brands really see you. All of the connections are really made. TikTok is just for the exposure, but if you really care about your business, I would say Instagram is more so where you should focus at. You get more eyes that tend to stick onto your page on Instagram than TikTok. Now, I know that I have more of a following there, but it feels like I have more of a community on Instagram. So, yeah.
Nice. So you would say Instagram's better for, like, fostering that community, and
For sure.
TikTok's more like, getting the views out, getting the videos out, trying to get something to blow up.
It's really just for the exposure. That's really it.
Nice. How would you say, I guess, like, finding, not necessarily your audience, but finding your type of content, to create?
Find inspiration from content that you really enjoy. So for me, I have a content creator that, like, it's kind of like an idol for me, which is Tony Stadavici. He's like one of my favorite content creators, so I really look up to his content a lot. I look up to his content, and so I kind of take notes from that. Also, I watch a lot of Family Guy, so I take notes from them as well, like how they set up jokes and all that type of stuff. And that's really how I kind of find my content. I kind of I kind of shift from there. Like, I try to see what really works for me. And with your audience just comes as people who just appreciate your content. It could be any type of person. So that's what I think about that part.
So you would say, like, looking at, I guess, people who are bigger in whatever space you're doing, or just bigger in general, just kind of replicate off those.
Enjoy.
I have this saying.
That you enjoy.
I have this acronym. It's WWAD. You ever heard of it?
What would your audience do?
What would Apple do? And
Okay.
I kind of just started to take that on. It's from this one millionaire dude. I don't know, but WWAD. What would Apple do? And anything, bro. You're trying to make something better. When it comes to creativity, design, marketing. Just think, what would Apple do? And then anything that they're not doing, try to think, like, if you want to think broader, bro. I feel like try to fill in the missing pieces, the missing parts of what they're not doing,
For sure.
Then that's when everything will start to, like, really be pushed, because you're basically replicating Apple and everything like they do,
Yeah, just finding different strategies and making it your own. That's exactly what you're saying. Yeah.
Man. But definitely great value in that. If anyone has any questions for Paul, feel free. Like, I know there's a lot of people who want to get into content creation here. I'm sure you just drop it in the chat. I don't think he can hear on his Discord right now. I think some people are having some problems with that. But just drop any questions you guys have for Paul here, and he'll answer.
Yeah, it says, how do I grow my TikTok fast? So one strategy that I've seen and that I've learned is that posting like up to 3 times a day, maybe even 4 on TikTok, like it helps with exposure. So think of it as far as fishing, kind of like throwing multiple lines in the water. The more lines you throw out, the more fish, or the more likely you are to catch a fish. So by the fish, I just mean your audience, or like people just viewing your stuff. Because there are a lot of people that would just spam content that will have a low amount of followers, but they spam the content enough, and quality content as well, that can be engaging and have people come back, to where that they just grow from like 1,000 to 10,000 in like a matter of weeks. I've literally seen it. But yeah.
Nice. That's good. Yeah, I also noticed that too. Like, just the more you put out is like basically the more you will return. But you also can't be putting out like bullshit. You gotta
put out trash. Don't put out like content that you wouldn't watch yourself or wouldn't care about.
Oh, what's up? Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, awesome. What's up? So I'm glad to be able to get some advice from you. And MT, also thank you too for putting this together, man.
Of course, man. Of course.
So,
what's your question, man? I think this is Dre.
Dre, what's going on, Dre?
What's up, boss? Yeah. So my vids, like I do like a lot of motivational type videos, and on Instagram they low key like they do pretty good. I might get like 2K on the low end, and then like maybe 20K, 10K like average for like some big videos. But then on TikTok they get like 0 views if I try to push out too many. Like if I push out one, I can probably get 200 views. But like I know I can push out like 10 a day if I wanted to on TikTok. That's the issue.
Okay, I got a question though. Are you posting them like back to back to back, or are you giving them space?
I'm posting them back to back to back.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so with that, like, yeah, don't post them back to back to back, because when you do that, it's kind of like a spam. So like TikTok and Instagram both kind of do that. They kind of got like a spam protection system for that type of stuff. So like, I don't know if you remember, but like on TikTok they used to have this thing where like if multiple people like all your videos at one time, they just spam your likes, they're gonna decrease your views because they think a bot is doing it. So that's what is like going on with that. So try posting, like there are a lot of critical times for people to post. So if you were to post 10 videos, right? One of the hours are gonna have to be odd, but the most popular view times are 12, 3, 6, and 9. So those 4 times, you can post 2 times hour. So you could do like 12 and then 12:30, and then 3, 3:30, 6, 6:30, 9, 9:30, and then you could do one at 10, and just that'd be like a good way to space that out, and they could try it. Also, you could look at your engagement as well, and like your audience, like look at your analytics to make sure if those are like good times for you. Like most of the time, that is the correct time for viewership and everything like that.
Okay. So you think I should post like once every like those hours, or like I can push out like maybe like 3 every those hours, or do you mean?
I would say one every like 1 at 12, 1 at 3, 1 at 6, 1 at 9. Yeah. So 4 videos a day. Try starting off with that, and then I think it will work better because you're giving the algorithm or the audience time to breathe. So it's not like you're
Thank you so much, bro. Yeah.
You're not throwing just straight content in their face all the time. They're gonna get time to look at the video, and then they'll have time to see the next one like within the next 3 hours, and then after that you'll have space between. So yeah.
Okay, awesome. So I just need to space it out more.
Yeah.
All right. I appreciate that, because I was getting kind of, I post 10 times and they all get 0 views. So shoot.
No, that's all good, Dre. When I first started, like my views were actually but like for like a long time, bro. It took a very long time for my stuff to like really catch on. But as long as you're like, I know it's like over said is drawn out with this word that everybody uses, but as long as you're consistent, that really is where it comes into part. And as long as you're paying attention and reading those analytics and making sure that you're doing it at those times, you should be straight, bro. And that is also as long as it's engaging and quality content.
Hey, Paul, I appreciate you so much for just like sharing, I guess, all this value just to all these people. I know you didn't have to, but you did out the kindness of your heart, man. And hopefully someone can be in the position that you are one day. Like, man, you're about to hit 1 million, bro, on TikTok, right?
Yeah, we had 670K, but we gonna get that million soon.
Hey, what? This 600K more than me, bro. Oh my goodness, that's crazy, man. But
But hey, if any of y'all do have questions, y'all can DM me as well, like on Discord or on my Instagram. It's just PaulisKnown. Y'all don't have to like follow or anything. Just DM me. Just send the DM. I'll respond. I always respond to every DM that I get on Instagram. But yeah, bro, that's it.
Nice, bro. I appreciate you. Our last special guest here before we get into that giveaway will be Zach. So Zach is growth operations manager. He can probably say his title probably better than I can. That's how I guess know him. But he's pretty he's very hardworking, successful, as I know. Good friend of mine, and I just wanted him to come over. He offered to come on here. He actually took someone's place, which I'm very glad for. But he actually has a lot of good value that he can share with you guys if you want to get into that space. So I'll let him introduce himself. And then you guys can ask him any questions further after.
Hi, what's up? Can you guys hear me? Everything's...
Yeah, I can hear you. I think.
Alright, perfect. So essentially what I am, so my name is Zach. It's a bit of a different one compared to like these guys. You know, these guys all produce content and stuff. But me, I work behind the scenes with content creators and with a lot of like mentors, you can say, or coaches in the online space, whether it's trading, dropshipping, any money space in general. I actually work like behind the scenes with these people, and essentially I try to make their job easier. You know what I mean? I try for them to focus on providing value, and then I build the frameworks and the systems for them to succeed in that. And it's been really good. Like similar to Bryson, I believe it was that was in the call. Similar to Bryson, like you said, I was working a normal job. Also, I just turned 19, so when I was 16, I was working. 17, I always knew I had a drive to do something more than just whatever my family said, whatever is the norms, you know. So I always took it a step further, and I realized that even if you don't find something within trading, which this community is trading, so you guys should all be focusing on trading, or if you guys want to do anything else, whatever, you know. But even if it's not trading or it's not drop shipping or it's not all these things that you hear, there's a lot of ways to make money online. And you might get like demotivated from seeing all these successful people showing their money, their cars, or whatever. But if you provide on solving a problem, if you like focus on solving a problem, you're gonna make money in the process. Whether like if you make a lot of money for someone else, you're gonna make money in the process. So basically, there's a lot of like big creators. You guys may have heard of them, like coaches or mentors in every space. Really, I can't really name the big ones because like legal reasons and stuff. But if you guys have any questions, like what they really do behind the scenes, how they really are in general, then I'm more than willing to answer. You know, I'm not a content creator like these guys, but it's a different space completely.
So what's the proper, I guess, title for what you do?
So it's called the growth operation. So growth operator.
Okay, nice. Yeah, I guess how would you say, like, say someone wanted to start, you know, even becoming a growth operator, what would be their first steps in doing so?
So their first steps, of course, would just be learning what it's about, you know? So whether you want to be, there's different types of growth operators, right? So you could learn, like, me, I've always been interested by AI, building systems in general. Like, I know that's not, like, a big topic people like, but that's something I liked. I enjoyed it, like, building these systems, automations, and things like that. And if you have the skills for it and you know you can genuinely help someone, like for me, it's content creators in general, like in the money space. And if you know you can genuinely help them, you just reach out to them like you are. Normal Instagram. Your Instagram should make it look proper. You always need to look presentable. whether it's a picture of your face, highlights of you doing whatever, traveling, whatever it is, and you reach out to these creators and you tell them, look, I have this problem. You have this problem. I can solve it for you doing this, and that. You help them, you gain the reward too for helping them. You know what I mean? And it's more behind the scenes work. But essentially, if you want to get started, you just need to learn the basics of, like, let's say, automations, building funnels, systems, how people work, like the audience and stuff. It sounds like a lot, but honestly speaking, if you really focus, there's nothing that can stop you. And also, I want to go on a point that Bryson talked about, saying, like he said in the chat, I believe, because my audio is not working either, but he said something about motivation doesn't last forever. And that's a great point. Because if you, like, say, oh, I want to get this car, I want to be this, like really successful, I want to have this much money, whatever, and you're only relying on motivation, that's not going to bring you anywhere. You know, discipline is always better than motivation. Waking up every day, putting in the work you have to do, is better than doing how do I say this? Than driving like on motivation at all times. You know what I mean? The motivation is going to die. Discipline is going to stay. So if you put in those habits of working on what you want to do, for you guys, it's trading. So if you put in those habits every day, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna backtest for 20 minutes. I'm gonna focus on my model. I'm gonna make sure I don't overtrade. I'm gonna make sure I don't do this. It's gonna last a lot longer than just motivation, like sparks of motivation. 1 week you're doing good, 1 week you're doing bad again. It's always important to keep that discipline.
I agree, bro. I like to kind of say it as like motivation is not consistent, right? You're gonna get like motivation at one point, that's gonna die, then you're gonna have to build it back up, and then you'll get that little feeling again, but it's nothing consistent, it's nothing that you can bank on, right? So in those periods of time where you don't have that motivation, you have to have something else that's fueling your work, and that it's a trick question, right? What could be fueling my work during that time? And the answer is nothing, right? And that's when you need to have that discipline, right? To really just keep pushing through. And that discipline also does, it comes from faith, faith within your God, to really just stay consistent and believe that somehow, some way, you're going to get to your whatever you're yearning to achieve, right? So that was a really good point you bring up, though, Zach. Again, thank you so much, Zach, for coming on here, being able to speak. And provide this free value to like all these people, because who knows, maybe day trading is not that one thing. Like, sorry if you guys can hear my roommate, he's snoring in the background, but yeah, maybe day trading may not be that thing, but it's okay. Like, there's other things you can do too, but I know that it's definitely important to like definitely stick with something, try to make it work regardless. But I think someone has a question here, so I'm just going to invite him on the stage. He can probably speak. Sorry if there's like background noise too. I know my roommate's sleeping. There's probably like people screaming in the hallway. This is the college life, guys. I don't recommend the dorm life.
Hey, yeah, no, I'm sorry. I think I was disconnected for a second. But no, my question about, you said that you were interested in stocks first and you changed your mind. What made you make that transition? Like, what made you make your transition from stocks and all of the things that you were in?
No, you're good. Like, I was interested in stocks, was one of the things I was interested in, and everything in general, to be honest. Like, I was doing anything you can name, really. If you ask anyone that's in the online money space in general, they've all said the same thing, where they tried a million things, whether it's dropshipping, any type of thing you can imagine. And stocks in general, I'm still interested in it, like the ETFs and stocks, like long-term investments, you can say. But what made me do the switch really is I felt that day trading in general, like, it wasn't for me. I didn't have the right or the correct like mentality, or I guess personality, because day trading, it comes with a personality. You need to be a special type of person to genuinely like to put that work in and put those like how do I say this? Like, follow your rules exactly. You need to have a special like trait. And obviously, I think now that I've matured, and I could probably do it now. But my interest in general, I really enjoy like building systems and stuff. And I'm studying it in university as well. And I've been very successful. Like, you can say I got lucky. I started from a connection that I had in the space. I told them, look, I can build you this. I can make you a lot more money. we did, it got successful, and then from there I went from creator to another creator to another creator to another creator, and then I basically found my path. I put in a lot of work, and that's what you really have to do. But what I recommend is, I wasted like 2 years of my life. If you know deep down trading is for you, you need to put whatever you can into that, and you can't switch halfway through or 50-50 of something else. It needs to be your main focus. Because if you're not going with the same vehicle, or you're not going with the same focus, you're not going to make it anywhere, because you're going to keep switching, doing this, doing that. You need to stick to one thing, put your all into it, and then you're going to be successful by the grace of God.
All right. Does anyone else have any questions for Zach about growth operations? Anything? You guys can feel free to come up here on the podium. Come up here. You can type in the chat. Yeah, and also I also preach all the time, like, ask as many questions. I mean, like, I want to continue to, like, bring these people on, like, share all this value with you guys and give you guys opportunities to ask as many questions as possible to these people, right? I wish I had this when I was, like, coming up. If I could ask, like, I guess a profitable trader, or, people who are successful in whatever space they may be in, I wish I had the opportunity to, like, just ask as many questions as possible to these people. So if you guys have any like questions relating to growth operations, or feel free to ask the question.
Someone asked,
Yep.
how do you overcome depression? I think that's a good question for you, because you had I don't know if you had that, but I'm just saying you'd be good at answering a question like that.
Yeah. I guess definitely overcoming any tough time in your life. I can just answer this real quick. Definitely just doing anything and everything possible to like take up your time, right? So with that being said, like, not like, the less time you have to sit alone with your thoughts is the less you'll think about whatever is making you feel that type of way, right? And that's the way, you really just go crazy too, because once you, like, channel that energy, channel that, I guess, whatever it may be, like sadness, anger, whatever it may be, so you channel it into the work you're doing and the dream you're trying to get towards, then that's when you start to see everything unfold. Unless you guys wanted to add on to that.
I can add on to that. I wouldn't say again I was depressed, but I went through a period of my life where, and like a lot of us as well probably, we just go through like a really questionable time, and like we wonder like what's our purpose, and I went through a specific period of time. I'm not going to talk about it exactly, but it was just a really low point in my life, and really like the only thing that got me out of that depression is purpose. Because a lot of us, as we grow up, a lot of us, like most people in general, like they just work jobs. Like that's why most people are like low-key sad, because they're not doing what they love, right? They don't have purpose. They just wake up every single day and repeat the same life, or the same 9-to-5 life. Like I never wanted that. So the moment I really began to focus, and like kind of like what John was saying, just going all in on something you love, that's truly when that depression just kind of leaves, because you have a purpose. You have a purpose every single day. You have a purpose to wake up. So that's what really got me out of the situation that I was in, is just finding my purpose, which is trading.
I can add on also, Bryson. Like Bryson said, that everyone goes through dark times and they have dark thoughts, like whether it's family issues, everything in between, relationship in general. Like everyone goes through these tough times. And the most important thing, like I agree with MT and I agree with Bryson, is you need to find your purpose. And by doing that, you need to do whatever you can not to be like alone, or work to something that will make you feel happy. Like whether it's exercise, like going to the gym, running, playing sports, whatever you need to do, building a career in trading or whatever it is, whatever you need to do to fight off that depression, it's always better to face it and just go through it, with discipline, with working hard. You feel rewarded, and it's a very good feeling when you're in the dark times. Because me too, I had some dark times, or I had some times where I was really low, like a year ago maybe around that time, and my life completely changed in 1 year. From being sad, from not knowing really like what I want to do in life in general, and then from that point on, I put myself out there. I started running. I started talking to people, making connections with people, stop being scared, showing up, and then my life literally changed, honestly. And that's my advice. It doesn't even have to be related to money. Also, like money necessarily, like it doesn't give you happiness like you would think. Obviously, it gives you freedom, but you could have a lot of money and still have no purpose in life. So the main important thing I would say is just build good relationships with people. Be a good person in general. If you believe, if you're religious, like believe in God, learn about your religion, learn about what you want to do, and that's my advice.
Yeah, I think that helped everyone, because anyone can go through those periods of time. It's just about how to get through it. How to channel that energy so it kind of works for you. Kind of how like rich people use their debt to make them even more richer. So I want to get into this giveaway. I really do, and we have around 36, 37 people that will be participating in this giveaway. For that, I do just want to share a verse, and maybe if we can just sell a couple minutes just to talk about who is driving all of this, and the true purpose, and just the bigger picture in all of this, and that is our Lord, right? And we gotta acknowledge that and give him thanks, and kind of just give him the credit and the glory, right? So I did have this one verse. If anyone wants to follow along, feel free. It's in Leviticus chapter 20, verse 22. And it just says, "You shall therefore keep all my statutes and all my rules, and do them, that the land where I am bringing you to live may not vomit you out." And then later it says in 24, "But I have said to you, you shall inherit their land, and I will give it to you to possess, a land flowing with milk and honey. I am the Lord your God, who has separated you from the peoples." So basically, what I kind of take away from that, is that I feel like we are meant to live in God's statutes, right? We have to follow his statutes, which is just following what he says in his word, just following his rules, commandments, right? And basically out of that, he says it, "And I will give it to you to possess a land flowing with milk and honey." I feel like those are our dreams that we're yearning to get towards, right? And that he also says, "Who has separated you from the peoples." All of us here, bro, all I guess 35, 36 of us, we are all separated from the general majority. It is a Friday night at 9 o'clock. We all could be out, doing literally whatever, but we're all here gaining this value, getting better, and it shows that there is a difference from us and the 99% of people. And we were basically chosen by God to be different from all of us. So we have to not take that for granted, right? We have to use that as our advantage and take advantage of this opportunity that God has given it to us. Because we could very well just be normal, living, for the world, living, within our flesh and our stony hearts, but we're not right now, So we kind of have to just thank God for that, and thank God that he gave us a heart that's striving, that gave us a heart that just wants to do more. And I think I just wanted to let you guys know that be thankful that you are as hardworking as you are, and you have these dreams and goals and desires that you have, because God didn't put it in your heart for any reason. And if he put it in your heart, he knows that you can get to it. He would never put anything in our lives that we cannot overcome. So if anyone else wants to add on to that, that's all I just wanted to take away and share some word with you guys. I'm not sure if anyone wanted to add on to that, but yeah, it's in Leviticus chapter 20, verse 22, if you guys want to.
Yeah, to go off of that, my family, bro, they've never really, not supported me, but they never really believed it's possible. And that's the reality for a lot of us. And, you just got to realize, because I've had multiple times in my journey where I was oh, well, is God really did he really want me to do this? Does he want me to be trading? Does he want me to be, striving to own businesses one day, and to just overall become an entrepreneur? And I was because I just went through rough times a lot of us have, and I just questioned that. But you got to realize, bring it into perspective that, look at your parents, look at the kids at your school, look at your friends. Do any of them think like you? And even for the people that believe that, okay, it may be possible, out of those people, probably 1% of them actually try. So the reason, the people that are actually on this call right now, that are actually like trying, that are putting in the work, and that believe it's possible, bro, do not believe that, God just randomly just put that thought in your mind. Like, he really wants you to do something with it. Like, he did it for a reason, and that he actually like wants you to do great things.
But yeah, I mean, I agree with that 100%. I mean, but like I was saying, I mean, as long as you're just, the whole point I just kind of want to take away, and why I just want to like share with y'all, and really the point of literally all of this, of course, the whole brand, the whole like, me making the videos, all of it, of course, I want to be big one day, and that would be cool, the fame, the luxury, whatnot. But really, I have to like get out, the love that God has brought into my life, and just show to all of you guys that anything and everything is possible through God, and how much He loves us, and how much He just has, He wants us to win, basically. All right, and along, I guess, this journey, all the growth, all the achievement, everything, just want to tell you guys all now that it's all in the glory of God, right? It's all because of Him. All right, so that's all I wanted to tell you guys. Like I said, just a couple minutes. Don't want a whole spiel, but yeah, bro.
Like Bryson said again, he's been making a lot of good points today.
Yeah.
Like you said today, like you said right now, your environment matters a lot. Like I can't stress this enough, how much your environment matters. A lot of your closest friends, your best friends, doesn't mean they're not good people. Doesn't mean they're not, it doesn't mean they're not good people in general. But do they have the same mindset as you to really make it to the top? And that's the question you need to ask yourself. Because even me, when I got, I don't want to say I'm successful yet, but when I got, along the journey, I try to help some of my real, IRL friends. I try to help them, get into the same journey with me. I try to teach them what I know. And a lot of them, they think they're like, yes, okay, I'll do it, whatever. And then you give them all this information for free, and they don't do anything with it. They don't have that drive, really, to get to the next level. And you need to ask yourself the question, because a lot of our families also, they're not really into the entrepreneur mindset. They all work, normal jobs. They do normal things. But to be at the top, you can't be normal. You have to be different. So it's very important to surround yourself with people that have that mindset to be different, that really want to make it to the top. Because it's something to talk about it and just like saying, oh, I'm gonna do this, do that, whatever it is. But there's a difference between actually doing it and putting in the work to get to that level. So watch who your friends are, not in the way where, oh, I'm gonna cut them off because they're like this. No, but try to surround yourself around people who are better than you, and you're gonna learn a lot that way.
And I also want to go off of what Zach just said. So also paying attention to your surroundings and stuff like that. But also another thing is to also keep in mind of improving yourself at least 1% every day. That has been a mindset that I've been keeping track of for probably months now, but it goes a long way. So every day, as long as you put in I think Zach or Bryson might have said that as well earlier, but as long as you're putting 20 minutes, 5 minutes, even a minute of just trying to practice your craft, learning and improving yourself, that's going to go way further than just choosing to go off of that motivation, which is also another point earlier. But yeah, I'm just adding that as well. Just give yourself grace. Also, make sure that you are not too hard on yourself here when you seem to fail, or if you were to not reach the point that you were looking for as soon as you wanted it. Do not be discouraged by any results that may not be ideal for you, because there is always something better planned for you. As long as you remember that, and as long as you give yourself grace, you are bound to succeed. So that's pretty much it.
Yeah, all great points. All great stuff to take away, genuinely. Also, any words of encouragement that anyone has in the chat, just go, or in the audience, feel free to put them in the chat. Who knows, something any of your ideas in your head, who knows, if you say it may be what someone was looking for, right? It may be a prayer answered. So you never know unless you start talking, just reach out, saying anything. I mean, we're a whole community full of ideas. I like to say that all the time. So much just so much like that can be expressed throughout everyone, that we can just, if we all talk, you know, we can all learn something from each and every person here. I feel like we've been doing a lot of talking, but a lot of great value has been like said in here, and I thank you guys all for being here once again. And again, thank you guys. Thank you, special guests Bryson, Zach, and Paul, all for coming out, taking out time from your day, your Friday, to be able to be on this call and help all, like, what, 37 people in here, including, I guess, everyone in here would be 40 right now. But yeah, thank you guys all just for coming and speaking again.
Hey, thank you, bro. Appreciate the invite, bro.
Yeah, appreciate you, bro.
Of course, man. Of
Thank you
course.
very much.
Of course.
I know it was last minute, but
Of course, man. Of course, bro. But with that being said, let's get into this giveaway, because I'm ready to give away some fundage. I'm ready to give away some fundage accounts.
people are waiting for that.
Exactly.